All right, so today we are looking at order of operations and BEDMAS rules, and we're going to go through examples. We'll start with simple examples, and then we'll get into some more complex examples. All right, so this chart, it shows the order in which operations must be completed when doing a question that has more than one operation. All right, B stands for brackets, E is for exponents. We will have a whole unit on exponents, so you won't see much of exponents now. D, division, M is multiplication, A is addition, and S is subtraction. Now keep in mind when doing these, and we'll see the examples, but when you get division and multiplication, you're going to do whatever comes first when you look at the question from left to right. So if multiplication comes first, then you would do multiplication first before division. So these two can be interchanged depending on how you see the question left to right. And same with addition and subtraction. If subtraction comes before the addition, then you would do subtraction first. And that'll make more sense as we do the examples. All right, so first example, if we have addition and subtraction occur in the same expression, you're just going to perform the operations in the order in which they occur, meaning from left to right. All right, so here we have 21 plus 4 minus 5 plus 3. So going left to right, so we would start with the 21 plus 4. You're going to add that together. 21 plus 4, that gives me 25. And then minus 5. And then plus 3. And notice how I'm doing it in steps. So this is how you would show your steps when doing these kind of calculations. Next, I would do 25 minus 3. All right, just like the rules before said, going from left to right, but addition and subtraction can be interchanged. So now 25 minus 5, I get 20, and then plus 3, which gives me my answer of 23. Forgot to hit recording. Okay, so this example, we had multiplication, addition, and subtraction occurring all together. So we worked with multiplication first, 5 times 4, and the 2 times 3 here. So 24 plus 20 minus the 6 from the 2 times 3, and then plus 8. Now I just worked from left to right. 24 plus 20, that's 44, minus 6 plus 8. 44 minus 6 gave me 38, plus 8 gives me 46. All right, next we have division and addition or subtraction. So again, BEDMAS, we have to do division first before we can do any addition or subtraction. So we have the 16 divided by 4 there. So we're going to do that first. So rewriting this, now I'm going to get 19. 16 divided by 4 is 4. So plus 4 minus 5. Now left to right because we have addition and subtraction. So 19 plus 4, which gives me 23. And then minus 5. That gives me my answer of 18. Next example, so we have if multiplication, division, addition, or subtraction occur together, perform the multiplication and division in the order they occur. All right, so going from left to right, and then addition and subtraction will be solved last. So going from left to right, because we have multiplication and division, so we're going to do our multiplication first. All right, so 10 times 4, that gives me 40. Then we have divided by 8 plus 9. All right, so next I would do division. 40 divided by 8, which gives me 5. And then I have plus 9, which gives me 14 as my final answer. Next we have brackets. So if brackets occur, then you're going to solve whatever inside that bracket first. Then you'll follow the rest of the rules. So our brackets here, we have a 7 minus 4 in the bracket. So we're going to go do 12 divided by 7 minus 4, which gives me 3. And then we have times 5. All right, so now we would just go left to right because we have division and multiplication. So we would go left to right, 12 divided by 3 first, which is 4, times 5, which gives me a final answer of 20. Okay, in this type of equation, we have a line, which basically is the same line as you would see in a fraction. So we have our numerator and we have a denominator. So in questions like these, you're going to evaluate the numerator first, that's the top part, and then you're going to evaluate your denominator, which is the bottom part, and then you can go ahead and reduce or divide. So let's work with our numerator first. So it's 8 times 4 plus 3. So we're going to do the multiplication first, which is 32 plus 3, which gives me 35. And then our denominator, which is 1 plus 3 times 2. So we have to do our multiplication first. So we get 1 plus 6, which is equal to 7. So we get 35 over 7 as our fraction. So you'd go ahead and reduce or divide because fractions are also division. So 35 over 7 is the same thing as 35 divided by 7, which gives me an answer of 5. Okay, so we'll go over this first one, 5 plus 18 minus 6 times 2 divided by 4. All right, so the first thing we have to do in this question is the 6 times 2. So rewriting this now, I get 5 plus 18 minus 12 divided by 4. Next, I would have to do the division. So now I end up with 5 plus 18 minus 3. And then go ahead from left to right to do the addition and subtraction. So 5 plus 18 minus 3, which gives me 20. So next example, we have 6 times 5 divided by 2 divided by 5. So it's all multiplication division. So we're just going to go from left to right. So from left to right, we have 6 times 5 first, which gives me 30. Then divided by 2, and then divided by 5. So 30 divided by 2, which gives me 15. And then divide that by 5, and that gives me an answer of 3. All right, so we're going over our last question here. So we have a numerator of 12 times and then bracket 7 plus 5. So I'm just going to do the numerator here. So that becomes 12 times 12. So 7 plus 5 is 12. And then we have 64 divided by 2 as a denominator. So that gives me 144 over 32. All right, so after that, we just have to reduce. So I'm just going to reduce using 16. I'm going to divide the top and bottom by 16. That gives me 9 over 2. All right, and that's an improper fraction. So then I am just going to change it to a mixed fraction. So how many times can 2 go into 9? 4 times. My denominator is 2, so I have half left. So 4.5. All right, so here, these types of questions, these are substitution questions. Our equations here have variables inside of them. Variables are letters. So on the side here, we are given what the value of each letter is. So for example, here we're told that x is equal to -2. So we just have to substitute that into our equations wherever we see x. Very, very important is you use brackets when you're substituting. The reason being is if you don't use brackets, here, if we had 7 and x is equal to -2 and you just wrote like this, that is totally different from 7 times -2. If you wrote it like this, you're going to get confused and you're going to do 7 minus 2, which is 5. But it's actually 7 times x. Anytime you see numbers and variables written together like that, it means multiplication. So it's important to use brackets when you're doing substitution. All right, so let's go ahead and start by substituting. So x is equal to -2. We're going to substitute that in everywhere for x. So 7 times -2. Then we have -3, and it's x squared. X squared, that means x times x. So here I'm just going to write that as a -2 squared like that. All right, so now I'm just going to use my BEDMAS rules and finish this. So 7 times -2, that gives me -14. And then I have here -3, and I'm going to do my exponents here. My exponents here, -2 squared, that means it's -2 times -2. -2 times -2, that gives me a +4. All right, so it looks like this. So next, I'm going to do my multiplication. So I have -14 minus the 3 times 4, which is 12. All right, so now I have -14 minus 12. I'm just going to change that so that it becomes like this, -14 plus -12, which equals to -26. All right, next example, we have two variables. So we have 5ab plus 3b equals to blank, and we're told a is equal to -4, b is equal to -2. So make sure you are substituting correctly into the equation. So we have 5 times a is -4, times b is -2. Okay, so that's what the first part looks like, the 5ab. Then we have plus 3 times b. The b is -2. There we go. So everything has been substituted in. So what we're going to do first is multiply this all out because it's 5ab. 5 times -4 times -2. That gives me +40. And then I'm going to work on this here, which is -6. So 40 plus -6. All right, so 40 plus the -6, which is the same thing as 40 minus 6, which gives me a +34. I'm just going to leave it at 34. All right, so let's try our first one here. We have y squared minus y plus 6, only one variable where y is 4. So I'm going to substitute that in here. So we get 4 squared minus 4 plus 6. All right, so exponents we're going to work on first. 4 squared, that is 4 times 4, that is 16. So 16 minus 4 plus 6 is what we have next. All right, so 16 minus 4, that gives me 12 plus 6, which gives me 18. So our next one has two variables. We have a and b. So we're going to substitute 5 for a. So that becomes 5 times 5 minus, it's a times b. So it becomes 5 times 3, and then it's plus 7. All right, so 5 times 5 is 25 minus 15 plus 7. And we're going to do this first. 25 minus 15, that is 10, plus 7, which gives us 17.